And then this is a cage. Like a cage is our transport that takes us up and down to the mine. And again, also it's a double deck cage because it can take two groups at the same time. And again, like this used to be a gold mine, but it was closed in 1977, and then we are going 75 meters.
बेचारे काम करते थे जाते थे चमक रहा है पानी लग रहा है पानी एक्चुअली इसके अंदर अब दिखा चुकी है
Remember that we are 75 meters. So here, like they just drawn a map for us to see exactly where is the 75 meters. And then as you can see on the map, like the map reads, you are here, level 275 meters, and then the arrow points here. So that means that's where we are. But if you look closely to the map, you can see that the mine still lost go deeper. Like in total, but about 57 levels, which is about 3,293 meters deep. 3,293 meters deep. But as for only 75 meters, that's level number 2. And unfortunately now, we can't go down because of the water. Because as we speak right now, it's all flooded with water. And that's underground water, like natural water. But before, like they used to have water pumps, just to pump that water out so they could be able to go down. And then you can see that the temperature is 15.7 degrees. Is the one that supply power or electricity underground. And then remember, like that power, they needed it so they could have like electrical locomotive like these ones over here. But before, in the beginning, there was no electricity. So like they were using candles or carbide lamps up until electricity was installed. And then this is what we call a mercury arc rectifier. So this mercury arc rectifier converts alternating current to direct current, like AC to DC, and direct current was the one that they were using to supply that power. Okay. And then as you can see also, like on the sides, like you've got these tunnels, like you've got lots of them on the sides. Those miners will actually like go inside, like busy searching for those gold bearing stones. Like they'll basically like crawl inside and then work inside. And then the water like is all natural water. Like that, just showing us like how those miners like were working. Like in the old days, like in the beginning, when they were digging, like they were only like using a chisel and a hammer. And those times there was no electricity, so like they'll be only like using a candle light. And again, also with a chisel and a hammer. It was a very, very hard and slow process because it took approximately like 8 hours just to make or just to dig a 1 meter deep hole. 8 hours. But then as time progressed, then they started using that machine. We call it a jackhammer driller. So with a jackhammer driller, like it's very, very fast because it can make that 1 meter deep hole in 3 to 5 minutes instead of 8 hours. And again, they were issued with earplugs just to protect their ears from the noise. So now I'm just gonna demonstrate the machine for you. So I just like you just to cover or just to close your ears. And then that's a Nadrela. And I hear that before that they didn't have those earplugs like in the beginning. So you can just imagine walking underground, just listening to that sound for the whole day.
Which year did the first ship come?
After electricity. Transport that they were using just to transport or just to take those gold-bearing stones outside. And then as you can see, we call it a kokupen. And then when it's full like this is 1 ton of rocks. And that 1 ton of rocks only equals to 4 grams of gold. Only 4 grams of gold from this 1 ton of rocks. And then before, like they used to have a railway track on the floor where they used to push these kokupens, and again like they'll push them with their bare hands, like pushing them back to the station. And you can see also over there like you've got a telebot. A telebot is basically like the calculator, just to see how many of this kokupen they've already filled or they've already sent away. As you can see that the holes in the bot are in rows for easy counting. And then now we are looking at their explosives. So this explosive that they were using down here, we call them dynamites. And those dynamites, when they come into mines, they come in wooden boxes like this. And then as you can see, there's a name, Alfred Nobel, inscribed here on the lid of the box, because he's the one who invented those dynamites. Remember also again, like you've got this Nobel Peace Prize. Right. That is also like named after him. And then as you can see also again that the box is locked. The box must be locked at all times, meaning only specifically qualified miners were allowed to handle them. And again also if you look at the roof of the box, as you can see that the roof is peaked. Like it's not flat or it's not straight, like it's peaked like this for a specific reason. Because remember earlier, I mentioned that there was no electricity. So like they were always like carrying candles and carbide lamps. So that means the roof is like this for that specific reason. From preventing those miners placing that candle or that carbide lamps on top of explosives. And then also over here, like you've got other type of explosives. And then as you can see that these ones like they are bigger and stronger. And again, if you look at this one, you can see that this one like the box is different, because like this one like the roof of the box is flat. So this one like the roof of the box is flat, because like this one like is made from, this is metal or steel, and that one is wool, so that is why like it's peaked. And then also over here, like you've got fuses just to detonate those explosives. And then as you can see that they are separated, so they must always keep them separated. Like on the side, like you've got a mine survey for those engineers underground, just to keep on checking or looking whether like they're still mining like on the right angle. And then as you can see also again, that the mine is full of these wooden posts or these wooden structures. We call them supporters, because as you can see, like they're just supporting the roof or the hanging walls of the mine. Because if your roof, like if it's not strong, or if it's not properly supported, then it's gonna fall or it's gonna collapse, then a rock fall is gonna happen. And then if you light your torch, you can see that rock fall quite clearly down there. I hear that most common accidents that were happening here underground, like most of them, like they were caused by those rock falls. And again, also like these wooden posts, like they're from trees which are called eucalyptus trees, because at least the posts like were very, very strong. And you can see again that we've got these pieces of metals, like we call them roof bolts. And again, also like that, just supporting. Yes. Okay.
ये देखिए जी
And then this is one of those water pumps, like one of those water pumps that they were using in the old days just to pump or just to drain that water out. And this particular pump, it uses compressed air. And it can handle approximately like 3,000 liters of water an hour. And then this is a tip and grizzly. A tip and grizzly is a place that they use just to crush or just to break those big rocks, like into small pieces. And again, like they were only like using chisels or hammers just to crush or just to break those rocks. And again, you can hear the sounds. Like the sounds is just audio, just to give you an idea or a feeling like how it used to sound like. Okay, and then now up on the surface, every miner must have his ticket. They stand by the clock before entering a cage and before coming underground. And then once they arrive here underground, then they must come this way and give those tickets to the team leader. The team leader will collect all the tickets. And then after collecting them, he will lock them inside this miner's box. And again, when they're done, when the shift is over, let's say maybe after 8 hours, they must remember to come back again this side and fetch their tickets back from their team leader. So that means if there are still some tickets remaining after that 8-hour shift, that means that there's still some inside. So that means they must not detonate any of those explosives up until everyone has come and fetched their tickets back from their team leader. And you can see also in front of us, like you've got a big board of posters. So those posters, like they're written with a language. Like there was a very special language that they were using down here, or I can say around the mines. So that language, we call it Fanagalo. And that Fanagalo is made of 3 different languages, which is English, Afrikaans, and Zulu, all mixed together, just to make sure those miners could communicate. Because remember that they were foreigners as well. So it's Fanagalo is made of English, Afrikaans, and Zulu all mixed together. And I hear that they're still using that language up until this day in other operating mines. Okay, and then this is their first aid station in case of any injuries or accidents underground, because they were experiencing like lots and lots of accidents. And then as you can see that they used to have stretchers, and again also like be a pile of extra blankets on the floor. And then as you can see again that they used to have first aid kit boxes. And again, all this equipment must be used by a supervisor who's a certified first aid administrator. Okay, and then this is also a map. Remember that as only 75 meters, that's level number 2. But remember in total got about 57 levels, which is about 3,293 meters deep. But that's unfortunately now we can't go down because of the water. And then please be careful, just mind your step. Okay, and then this is the steps, like the steps that we're using just to walk like up and down. And then as you can see, like these ones, like they goes all the way down to the bottom. And then these ones, it's for us. But we only gonna use them in case of emergency if there's a power failure. Because remember, if there's a power failure when you are underground like this, unfortunately, I won't be able to use that cage to go out. So that means that we are forced to take the steps to go out. And then as you can see in total, like there are 151 steps to go back to the surface. And then the metal track on the side is for those coffee pans. Remember that one comes across like up and down on this metal track. And now we are going back, like we are going back to the station.
Oh, we're going this way, yeah?
Remember at the gold pole, like you said, they're gonna show like how they actually like make the gold, like the whole process. But before you go inside, they're gonna ask for that other long sleeve.
Okay.
That other long sleeve before you go inside, and the demonstration like is only 10.
I'd like you to close your eyes now and just listen. Listen and imagine. Imagine what it must have been like 100 years ago at 4:30 a.m. on a cold, wintry Highfield morning. Imagine standing and waiting to get into the cage at the top of a mine shaft, waiting to get into the lift that would take you down hundreds of meters into the earth. It is cold up here, but it will be hot down there. The cage is going down now. Down, down, down. You are on the way to the rock face. The last shift yesterday set the charges, did the blasting. You know, when you get there, you'll find broken rock that exploded late yesterday afternoon. You feel the trap under your feet as you suck in the cool air on the surface. That's gold-bearing ore lying there in the stone. Ore that needs to be loaded into the coal pan, heaved and pushed back along the railway line, back along the crosscut to the main shaft, and sent back up to the surface. You'll be drilling into fresh rock again, drilling more holes for more blasting to get more of the reef. You yawn. It's early. It's always this early. Now you walk along the crosscut, the tunnel that goes sideways from here, away from the vertical shaft. Already you are sweating. It's hot down here. Very hot. The air is thick with the smell of rock, the smell of men, and the smell of burnt dynamite. Here comes the man pushing the coal pan. The rock is always being taken away, always on the move, always being sent up to the surface in the skips. You walk carefully, stay clear of the coal pan tracks, follow the man in front of you. You see the sweat stain spread on the back of his jacket. Already, he wants to take it off. Wet bare chested. You all do.
gold bar is stamped onto it. Virtually all of the gold produced is sold to the South African Reserve Bank and then sold again to the international gold markets, the main one being in Zurich. Gold is also used for many, many beautiful items of jewelry and coinage. But gold has many day-to-day uses as well. Gold does not tarnish or corrode. It's durable, extremely malleable, and an excellent conductor. Gold is used in telephone exchanges, transistors, and minute computer circuits. It's used for dentistry, heat reflection and containment, and in a variety of scientific instruments. A fine film of gold is even used to reflect heat from a fireman's mask and an astronaut's helmet. It's an extraordinarily useful substance. Gold is beautiful. Gold is rare. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest